Welcome to Fortyborn, the Limited Lorcana podcast, where a gaming veteran
and a gaming novice
explore all things Lorcana. With a focus on limited formats, we cover set reviews, strategy guides, and stuff that nobody asked for.
Let's wing it.
Yeah, we're doing it off the cuff this week, giving ourselves a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it was a lot of episodes last week. It was fun though.
Yeah, it was pretty exhausting, but this is the biggest time of the year or I guess the biggest time of the quarter, because
Right.
It now happens 4 times a year. For us limited content creators, I know Nive was also commiserating with us in the Discord. Yeah.
It's a lot of time, a lot of episodes. But I will say it was fun to know they were coming out every day.
Yeah, I
That's
think
exciting.
I mean, people seem to like it because it was like the most engagement we've gotten with our podcast so far by quite a large margin.
Cool to see you all supporting and listening, and yeah. What a week. What a weekend.
Absolutely. And I hope that this continues to improve, and by that I mean the availability and interest in limited. I mean, obviously, it's great for us.
Yeah.
Because we make a podcast about it. But I think it's great for accessibility for the game. It's a good entry point, and it's a great way to play with new cards. We don't have to gush about why we like limited. I mean, we make a podcast about it.
Yeah, you should know by now.
Yeah. But this weekend, I guess a little recap. So we'll just go over what we did this weekend, what our experiences are so far, what we're liking about Into the Inklands, and we'll open up a pack and talk through what we would pick in a draft.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a good episode?
Sounds like the best episode.
Heck yeah. Well, you got to do your first sealed event experience.
I did. It was incredible.
So I played Friday, and then I got to do another one on Saturday, and then you joined for the one on Saturday.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, you had perhaps the best pool of cards I've seen open so far. You opened 4 legendaries.
Yeah, I'm like really good at opening cards.
And one of them was foil.
Yeah.
You got the foil Milo. You got Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jim Hawkins.
Yep.
And there was one more that was not playable and limited. I don't remember what it was.
I'm not gonna think of it. I didn't use it. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go in the deck, but you had a really good location deck. And yeah, what'd you think?
It was great. I had a really good time. It was fun. That part's just so fun to me. Is that initial opening your packs?
Yeah.
Weeding through what is, figuring out what am I going to use, what I'm not going to use, putting my tool time tips to the test.
Heck
yeah. So that was a blast. It was just fun to see all the new cards, have them in hand. I think we talked about it for so long that to actually be like, oh, here they are. That was a great feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you all got that feeling over the weekend.
I hope you did as well. And if you did and you have a photo of your list, we'd love to see it in the Discord. We've been taking a look at what people built and hearing people's stories and learning together what cards worked for you, what cards did not work for you.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to hive mind the limited format and improve together. But I'll brag on you for a bit. When you asked me to help you, you'd already picked 39 of your 40 cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we might have like swapped out 4 of them.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, like your deck was 35 out of the 40 cards were already exactly what I would have included. I think I just encourage you to include some more answers to locations.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the 2-drop Reckless, the red one. That's a 3/3.
Yes.
I can't think of her name. Mama, Mother, Donald, Della Duck.
Della Duck.
Yeah,
there
Della
she
Duck.
is. Yep.
And then I think maybe a Firebird or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm glad that you had a good time.
Yeah.
Were there any particular cards that you really enjoyed or you found really disappointing?
There was a card I found really disappointing, and I don't want to get roasted for this, but it was a location. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
RLS, right? Legacy? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. RLS Legacy.
RLS Legacy, because it looked so cool. Everything about it seemed great, and every time I put it down, it immediately got banished.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even get to use it ever. Like, I used it, I put it in play, and then it was gone.
Well, you did, like I did have to, when I played you, I did have to exert characters to kill it, so.
Yeah, but it felt worse for me.
Yeah.
then it felt like it felt for you.
No, that's 100% like I had similar experiences with locations where when you are ahead, they are excellent at shutting the door.
Yeah.
But if you are even slightly behind, locations feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a Firebird out, I think, and I had something with support. So I just took out the RLS Legacy so easily.
Immediately. It felt... I don't know how it felt for you doing it, but it felt to me like it required no effort from me.
It felt great to me. Yeah.
Good.
And I was doing that, I mean, all weekend. Like, I was playing as many Firebirds and Mauis and Della Ducks and Flotsam, the one that's a 5/2. I would just put as many of those as I could in my list as an answer to locations, and I was happy every time.
Yep.
They're great.
Yeah, they are great.
Yeah.
It was not great being on the other side of it.
No, it was not. Yeah, I did one deck where I went all in on locations on Friday night. That one was good. I did one deck where I didn't play any locations or location support. That one also felt good.
Yeah.
I think you can go either direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can also just include a location or two in your deck if you aren't like a dedicated location deck, meaning you don't like. In my mind, a location deck. Somebody asked us about this in the Discord. When we say like a location deck, we mean you have like at least 4 or 5 locations and at least 4 or 5 cards that care about locations.
Right.
So like the Mickey Mouse that gets bigger the more locations you have, or if you're lucky, the John Silver that gets more resist and more lore the more locations you have, or Shenzi the hyena, she's great with locations. You need like 4 or 5 of those location payoffs, and then you can be like, okay, about 20 to 25% of my deck is location or location based.
Yeah.
I'm a locations deck. Outside of that, I was just like, the one on Saturday was just like a pile of good cards with answers to locations, and it was good. It
was fine. Yeah. I think that's what I like to, obviously based off very limited gameplay that we've been able to do this weekend, but
nice
that it doesn't, like, you don't need locations, like they're a part of the game, but you're still going to see a lot of variety in play, I think, when you go play your events. So that's what I appreciate. That's not like this came out and now it's like, well, I need locations, I got to do that. Yeah. It's like, maybe you don't. You can, and it's fun.
You can just pass them up.
Just pass them. Just pass that RLS Legacy.
But I will say I did feel vindicated that I think that Magic Carpet is the best card to go into a location deck.
Yeah.
My first deck, I had Cusco's Palace and RLS Legacy, and being able to not have to pay to move something there was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah, because you can play the Magic Carpet, and because it has resist, it's a little bit more tricky to take out. And you can also just not use it to keep it safe. And then when you drop one of those expensive locations, you can drop the location on curve and then tap the Magic Carpet to move something to that location.
Yep.
So yeah, I could ramble about specific cards that I liked.
Maybe we should just spend another 10 minutes on Magic Carpet.
No, I won't talk about it again. Well, do you want to open a pack?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I was going to share high-level things first. So far, I think I like Rise of the Floodborn more.
Okay.
I think there was more diverse synergies and ways to draw cards that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I am having a blast with Into the Inklands. I don't think Into the Inklands is bad. I just prefer Rise of the Floodborn a little bit more, probably.
Yeah.
But I think that locations are about as good as we said they were. I think that when you're behind, they're bad. When you're ahead, they're great at closing the door. And when you're at parity, I'd probably rather have a character. So that's why I'm higher on characters still than locations.
Yeah.
I'm only picking locations if I'm like all in on a location strat.
Right.
And I love the art.
Art is great.
That's my favorite art so far.
Across the board, yeah.
By far. And even like package design. Like the way the boxes look. I got a Trove, and the way the Trove looks is cool. The Trove itself is awesome. I like the dice. I like the dividers. I'm really happy with the set.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it seems like it's more available, which is great for all of us.
Right.
Look at singles prices right now. Like, look at the cost of super rares. You can pick up most of them for under $2.
That's wild.
That's what I did.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. Now, if you want those, some of those legendaries are sitting at like $40 right now. So I won't be playing those for a while.
No.
But I ordered a playset of Chernobog, and I'm ready for Constructed.
You Chernobog guy, dude.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to go. But let's open a pack. And
yeah.
Hopefully this will help us talk through what we think about the set.
Let's do it.
I already opened this beforehand, so you don't have to listen to the crinkling, but
Oh,
I promise this is a real pack. All right.
He's even got the excess instruction card, so he's not lying.
Oh, that's another thing that frustrates me. There's 2 instruction cards in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if those were just cards?
That'd be nice.
If those were literally just 2 common cards instead, we would have 14 card packs, and we could draft for the price of 3 packs instead of for the price for 4 packs. That's like my biggest complaint right now. It's too expensive to draft. I wish that could be changed, and the fact that there's 2 cards in here that could literally just be 2 extra commons.
We've got a solution.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more it would cost, but I imagine you're already including 14 pieces of cardboard.
Yeah.
Could it be 2 more commons?
Please?
Pretty please? For us. Just do it for Fortyborn. Okay, let's get into this pack.
Sweet.
First, Olympus would be that way. Cost 1, it's inkable. It's an action. Your characters get +3 strength while challenging a location this turn.
Okay.
So it's I'm not too high on this card, but if you need an answer to locations, it'll do in a pinch.
Yeah, and it looks neat.
Yeah, but I'm not taking this card first pick.
No.
This is what we're doing. Like if we were doing a draft, what would we take in this pack if we opened it? Not that.
Nope.
Up next, Peter Pan, Neverland Hero. You pay 3 for a 1/3 that quests for 2. He has Rush, and if you have a character named Tinkerbell in play, the character gets +2 strength. So I'm not too high on this card either because I think there's 1 Tinkerbell in the set and it's rare.
I was gonna say I can't even. You're not gonna find Tinkerbell.
Well, my opponent did, and it was really annoying. So I did play against somebody that had Peter Pan and Tinkerbell out, and let me say, a 3/3 with Rush that costs 3 is very annoying to play against. Okay. But outside of that, I wouldn't play this card.
No.
So I'm not right now.
Probably
I would pick Peter Pan over Olympus would be that way, but I'm still not happy.
Right.
All right. Up next, Cubby. So you pay 4 for a 3/5 that quests for 1, and then he has an ability. Whenever this character moves to a location, he gets +3 strength this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cubby. He's good in a location deck because if you can move him, he becomes a 6/5 for a turn.
Yeah.
Normally we would expect to pay 5 mana for that. Sorry, 5 ink for that.
Oh wow, dude.
So yeah, I like Cubby. He seems cool.
I played some Cubby.
Yeah, playing 4 for a 3/5 that quests for 1. That's like already a vanilla on rate, and this has a little bit of upside. If you have a location out and some extra ink, ta-da! You get your +3 strength.
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah, right now I'm taking Cubby. Actually, never mind. The next card is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's the Firebird.
Yep.
So you pay 4 for a 6/2 that quests for 1, and that's it.
There it is. What more do you need?
I would love 1 more point of willpower because this thing did get killed by Baboom, which felt pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But the Firebird is a great answer to locations, and it's also a great answer to bigger characters.
Yeah.
You don't have to quest with it. You don't have to do anything with it. Just having the threat of the Firebird out is often enough to make your opponent not play locations.
Strong guy.
Yeah. So I really like the Firebird. It's a good answer to locations, and if you're playing somebody that's not a location deck, it's still a good way to trade up.
Yep.
So right now I'm taking the Firebird. Up next, we got an action called Repair. So you pay 2, remove up to 3 damage for one of your locations or characters. So this is a card that I'm fine having one of only in my location deck because it's inkable. But I would rather not play this.
No.
But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I cannot recall a time where I had a location that just had damage. When my location got hit, it was gone.
Yeah, when I hit locations, they were gone.
So,
yeah, it'll come up sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I do like that this is flexible. So, I'm still taking the Firebird, but this is fine. Like, I think that this is something you'll probably get past like the 11th or 12th pick in a pack, and you're fine to have one.
yeah.
It is, I will say, compared to the previous sets, it's a little bit harder to get enough playable cards in this format.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of cards that I don't want to play. Like separating my pile for sealed into cards I want to play, cards I'm willing to play, and cards I don't want to play. The cards I don't want to play pack or stack was pretty big.
Yeah. So just some words of advice, like open packs of good cards.
Yes, that's actually that's our number one recommendation. Just open Pongo in your first pack like I did in both sealed, and you're headed in a great direction.
Then you're good to go.
Okay. Up next, Kita. You pay 1 for a 2/2 that quests for 1. So this is the yellow Kita.
Yep.
Once again, you're not first picking this, but I definitely want 1 or 2 of these in every one of my Into the Inklands decks.
Yeah, I liked having Kita around.
Yeah. But right now, still on the Firebird. We have our first contender. So we're into the uncommons. We got Flintheart Glomgold. So first of all, fun to say that name.
Very fun.
You pay 4 for a 3/4 that quests for 2. During your turn, this character gains evasive. You need answers to evasive.
Right.
Flintheart's great.
He is. Yeah, he was frustrating when I saw him come out. My opponent.
He overperformed for me. Like, playing against him was frustrating.
Yeah.
He's a great answer to most of the evasives that you'll see. And if not, he's a 3/4 that quests for 2.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm probably taking Flintheart over the Firebird.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's left in the pack.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Little John.
John.
This is the gray Little John. You pay 3 for a 2/4 that quests for 1. It has Bodyguard, and during your turn, this character gains evasive. So actually, I changed my pick. I'm taking Little John.
Right.
I just think Bodyguard's super good,
Yeah.
and answers to evasives are super good. He's just so flexible.
He's
and
both.
Yeah, he'll go into any deck.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a location deck or not, whatever I'm going for, he's going to be good. So the inherent flexibility of Little John is why I'm currently taking him.
Yep.
Because when you're picking your first pick out of a pack, you want to keep your options open if possible.
Yeah.
So, Little John. Yeah. Up next, Hey, Accidental Explorer. You pay 2 for a 3/2 that quests for 1. Once per turn, when this character moves to a location, each opponent loses 1 lore. I'm not first picking this, or hopefully I'm not even fifth picking this.
Yeah.
But I'm fine having this in my deck.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm not a location deck, the ability doesn't really matter. I'm happy to have a 3/2/1 that costs 2.
Yeah.
If I am a location deck, his ability will be relevant, 1 out of 3 games or whatever.
That's how it felt. Yeah, I was just going to say, he's a card I was like more excited about and then didn't really utilize.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Mama Odie, Mystical Maven. So this is the blue uninkable 3-drop Mama Odie. She's a rare. You pay 3 for a 1/3 that quests for 1. Whenever you play a song, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. So I had this in a list with I think 5 or 6 songs, and her ability was relevant 0 times. Now that's not to say that you shouldn't play Mama Odie. I actually think she's a fine card, but I'm still not going to pick her over Little John or Flintheart or the Firebird. But if she was like, if those were all gone, I might take Mama Odie.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think she's good, but I think if you have enough songs, like 4 or 5, I would consider playing her.
Yeah.
Up next, another dud of a rare, unfortunately. The Lamp.
Oh, no.
So it's uninkable. You pay 2 for an item. It has an ability, banish this item. If you have a character named Jafar in play, draw 2 cards. If you have a character named Genie in play, return chosen character with cost 4 or less to their player's hand. So it's possible to have both of these abilities trigger, but it's extremely unlikely because there are common and uncommon versions of Jafar and Genie. I think maybe the only Jafar is legendary. Either way, this card's not good.
No.
It's uninkable, and it's probably not going to be relevant 5% of the time.
Yeah, correct.
So don't play that card.
Nope.
Our last one, our foil, DeVille
Hail.
Manor. It's a location. You pay 1 for a green location. Its movement cost is 1. It has 4 willpower, and it gains 1 lore during your upkeep. If I'm in a location deck, I want a couple of these. Outside of that, if I'm in an aggressive deck, I want 1 or 2 of these. And outside of that, I don't think I really am too high on these vanilla 1-drops outside of that. These 1-drop locations.
No.
So my picks in order: Little John, I think, is the best. Bodyguard and evasive. Then I would take Flintheart, and then I would take the Firebird. Those are my picks.
Yeah, I think my instinct was Flintheart, and that's only because of recency bias when I got so mad to see him. So I think those are both fine first picks.
Yeah, I mean, recency bias is
It's real.
it's very real. It happens a lot and limited. You'll like get in a rut where you're like, this is the best thing ever, and then you realize why you keep losing all the time. It's because you keep on trying to make the 7 dwarf strategy work in every single draft.
Dude won't let it go. He won't let the dwarfs go, dude.
Nah.
If you love them, let them go.
Amen, brother. Well, I mean, I think that's an episode.
Yeah, we did it.
It's going to be short and sweet. We hope to hop into talking about the rare and plus cards. We hope to do that today, but we're just kind of tired, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll record those 2 episodes, I don't know, sometime in the next week and get those out to you soon. We have some guests queued up into future episodes and some good stuff coming down the pipe. If you want to suggest content for us or give us any sort of feedback or just be involved in our community, you can find our Discord in the show notes. That's the best way to communicate with us. And follow us on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. You got anything?
Yeah, just an extra, shout out to the winner of the Hercules card. I feel like we cut him in the last episode, so I just wanted to do some justice, say congrats. Bruno, right?
Yeah.
Bruno won. A lot of entries. We had a lot of people entering. Did we?
Yeah, we did. And Bruno reached out on Twitter and thanked us and emailed us, and yeah, we're happy that this card is going to a teacher, an educator in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Really cool to see.
Yeah, we're gonna do more giveaways in the future. But I'm excited that the card is going to someone that we really appreciate, and he said that he's hoping to get a TCG club going at his school.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. So
super cool.
Yeah, so teachers, thank y'all for all that you do. Bruno, thank you for what you do. We hope you enjoy the Enchanted.
Yep.
And yeah.
Thanks for entering, everyone. Thanks for teaching. Thanks for doing great things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, until next time.
Later.